I didn't know birthday cakes were real until I turned 23. My brother's reaction changed how I see my childhood growing up. Or faced word special occasions in my house. My father called them participation trophies for not dying, and my mother would cook whatever dinner we could afford that week. No cards, no gifts, no celebrations. It was just another day where I happened to be a year older. I accepted this as completely normal until my sophomore year of college, when my roommate asked about my birthday plans. I told her I didn't have any, and the look of horror on her face was the first hint that maybe my experience wasn't universal. Not even a cake? She pressed, genuinely confused. I laughed it off. Birthday cakes are just things from movies, I replied confidently. Regular families don't actually do that. She stared at me for a solid minute before showing me photos of every birthday cake she'd had since age 1. I was stunned. I thought birthday cakes were like the perfect Christmas mornings and holiday combours, those fictional ideals created to sell products, not things that actually happened in real homes. When I started dating James last year, I never mentioned birthdays. Why would I? They weren't events worth discussing. But somehow the topic came up during dinner with his family. What was your favorite birthday? His sister asked innocently. I froze, searching for an appropriate why when James jumped in. Oh, Casey's family doesn't really do birthdays, he said casually, squeezing my hand under the table. I'd mentioned it once in passing, and didn't think he'd even registered it. His mother looked puzzled. No birthdays at all, not even a special dinner. Before I could respond, his father chimed in. Different families have different traditions. That's what makes the world interesting. The conversation moved on, but 2 months later, my 23rd birthday arrived. I was studying for finals when James asked me to come to his apartment to help with something. When I walked in, I froze. His small pigeon table held a homemade cake with messy boo frosting, and my name spilled slightly crooked across the top. Nothing fancy, just a basic chocolate cake with candles waiting to be lit. I know you said your family doesn't celebrate birthdays, he said nervously, so I wasn't sure if you'd want to. But everyone deserves at least one birthday cake in their life. I stood there, unable to speak. It wasn't the cake itself that overwhelmed me, but the realization that someone had thought I was worth the effort May was worth celebrating just for existing. Is this okay? He asked, misreading my silence. We don't have to make a big deal about it. Tears came before I could stop them. Not sad tears, but the kind that come when something inside you shifts and you suddenly see your life through a completely different lens. I've never had a birthday cake before, I managed to say. His face softened with understanding. Then we should take a picture, he said gently. First, cakes are important milestones. It wasn't until he was cutting me the first slice that I realized. Maybe the things I dismissed as movie magic weren't fictional after all. Maybe I'd just grown up in a house where joy was considered an unnecessary luxury.